Okay, let's look at exponential equations. Okay, we haven't done equations together yet. Everything we've done up until now has been expressions, expressions, expressions. And I haven't taught you anything about equations yet, but the main thing that I want you to know about equations is whatever you do on one side, you do on the other. Your equations are basically your bucket of balance, and you have to make sure that it stays in balance. You cannot have a lopsided situation. So if you add one here, you have to add one here. If you multiply on one side, you multiply on the other. That, I think, is the most important thing that I want you to know. Now, the second thing is the goal. Your goal is to get something that says x equals a number, whatever that number may be. You want to isolate x. You want x to be alone. So we are going to take everything and everyone away from x as much as we possibly can. So let's go ahead and start here. We're going to start with this question, which says 4 times 25 to the power of x plus 3 is equal to 4. What is attached to this x? There's a 4 attached to the x, and that's attached by multiplication. There's a 25 attached to the x, and that is attached because x is its exponent. And there's a 3 attached to this x by addition, but it's also an exponent. So we have to remove 3 things in order to get x alone. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So the simplest one we can deal with is that 4. This is multiplied by 4. So we are going to divide everything over here divided by 4, and over here divided by 4. So I'm writing that fraction line to indicate division. 4 over 4 is equal to 1 over 1, so that cancels away. What do we have? We have 25 x plus 3 is equal to, again, 4 over 4 is equal to 1 over 1. So that's brilliant. Okay, 25 x plus 3 is equal to 1. Now we want to get that x alone. Now, if you remember, whenever we're dealing with exponents, we want to get the same base. So what we're going to do here is this 25. Let's make that a prime factor. So if we change that to, hold on, pause. Okay, I managed to get the calculator up. If we want to factorize that 25 to prime factors, I'm going to press 25 equals shift factorial, and I get 5 squared. So now this becomes 5 squared instead of just 25. Keep it in brackets, and I have x plus 3 on the outside. Now, can I do 2 things in one go? Remember, we want to get 2 things that we did. The first thing we did was on the left-hand side, we did prime bases. And on the right-hand side, I want to get the same prime base. So now my question is, can I change 1 to 5? 5 to the power of what is equal to 1? And this again is a law of exponents. Anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So 5 exponent 0 is equal to 1. I can translate that 1 into 5 to the power of 0. This is important to know. So I've done 2 things. I've got prime bases on the left, and I got the same prime base, 5, on the right. Beautiful. Now, my next step is I'm going to multiply my exponents. So I'm going to have 5 to the power of 2x plus 2 times 3 is 6 is equal to 5 to the power of 0. Beautiful. Now at this point, I have prime bases and I have no more verbs to do. Everything is sorted out. So now I can drop the bases. Step 3, I'm going to drop, or that's step 3, step 4, because step 3 over here was to multiply power to power. Drop the bases. So now what are we left with? If we drop the bases, we are left with 2x plus 6 equals 0. 2x plus 6 equals 0. Remember, we want to get x alone. Okay, now, remember now we had this 3 that's become a 6. This one's attached, but there's something else attached as well. Now we have a 2 attached over here. We want to get rid of both. The first one we're going to get rid of is that 6 because it's not as closely attached. It's addition, whereas the other one's multiplication. So we're just going to say minus 6 on both sides. Okay, so that gives us 2x is equal to negative 6. 0 minus 6 is minus 6. Okay, now let's get rid of that 2. So we're going to say divide by 2 on both sides. 2 divided by 2 is x, and minus 6 divided by 2 is minus 3. That is my final answer. X is equal to negative 3. Okay, hope that makes sense.